there are use cases. So let's just get out of the NFT noise and everything else. I'm having dinner with a friend of mine. He used to run the trading operations of one of the largest banks in Australia. And it's a big bank, the equivalent of Bank of America. And he's like, yeah, he's just retired. And he's like, yeah, I've been heavily involved in crypto at the bank, doing stuff. I'm like, what are you guys doing? He goes, we've issued 5 stablecoin. I'm like, why? Why do you need the stable coins? Why not use Tether or USDC or whatever? He's like, okay, so this is what people don't understand, why crypto is so important for the financial system. He said, we're in Australia, we have a gigantic pension system. Our pension system buys a gigantic amount of US equities. The US is about to go to settlement. So when you buy a share and you have to pay for it from T+2 or T+3, so that's trade date plus 3 days to pay for the bill, T+1. Okay, that seems fine. Foreign exchange transactions are T+2. They can't settle the US stocks that they buy. So they either have to leave massive amounts of money with a broker that they dealt with who could go bust or uses the money ineffectively, or they create a stable coin for instant settlement. And they've built that. This one is on top of Ethereum. Okay, fine. But that is a multi-$100 billion use case for why crypto is very powerful for increasing productivity within the financial system alone. And there's many of these all over the place. So why is Tether such a big, useful stablecoin? You've basically fractionalized the US dollar and allowed a person in the Philippines who works in a rice field to receive a payment from his cousin who's living in New York City instantaneously without any cost in dollars, which is the currency that they all want. That's mind-blowing. That's why the stablecoin system alone is so gigantic. I don't agree with there is no productivity or killer app. The killer app of crypto so far has actually been stablecoins. Every mobile phone network is priced in Metcalfe's law. All networks are priced at Metcalfe's law. But
why can't they be?
I don't think it matters, Tom. I think you're getting caught in a thing that doesn't really matter. What matters to the bigger equation? The two things that matter with this whole thing is, does Bitcoin protect you from this issue of debasement, the mutualization of losses amongst everybody? Yes. Okay, fine. Nothing else matters there. Could it form part of what I call the exponential age of technologies, which could eventually increase productivity? Yes. Now, they're not mutually exclusive. There's no, Metcalfe's law is just a measurement of the value of a network. But this productivity idea is the big one. And the productivity idea is, if we can't keep increasing the debt. Remember, the magic formula was population growth or productivity growth plus debt growth. We can't change the population. The debt growth's got too far. So we've got this one thing in the middle. It's the only thing that can change this entire equation. So what we can do is try and grow that. Okay, now let's step back and say, okay, what's happening to the world that's a really big change that happened that the central banks are looking like they're going to print money to do? And that's the green revolution. And it's being driven by Europe, but it's being driven elsewhere. So yes, climate change, yes, all of the benefits of doing this, but there is a magic outcome. So productivity, let's say, we use AI, we can do more stuff. And you and I have talked about this in the past, right? We can expand now human knowledge in ways we couldn't do before. And factory lines and agricultural machinery just basically created more productivity per human. Okay, fine. But the big equation in this is the inflation-adjusted price of oil, which let's call that the kind of best benchmark for energy input costs, have been $40 in inflation-adjusted terms for 70 years, 60 years. So we've got a fixed thing here, which is, can we put more output per calorie or kilojoule of energy? That is what productivity is all about. So technology keeps rising, and that's great, keeps going. But all of these governments are focused on the other part of this equation, which is, can I lower the cost of energy? Because if you drop the cost of energy from $40 per barrel of oil equivalent to 10, you 4x productivity. And there is your solution. And that is why they're pouring trillions of dollars into this. And we're seeing what's known as Wright's law, all these terms, which is the increase in output of a new technology has a commensurate measurable decrease in the cost. And we're seeing that with all of the green energy. So it's just getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Now, we can't scale it enough yet, but we know that there's nuclear, there's going to be part of this equation. There's a bunch of things, but over time, we will move away from that $40 fossil fuel anchor and move to $10. So think of the multiplier, because technology is doing this and the cost is doing that. That is what the productivity miracle that is coming.